Alright, so in today's video, I wanted to go over how to get better on console. Now, when I say get better on console, I really mean get better on controller, because, you're using a controller on console, besides some of the weirdos that like to use mouse and keyboard and cheat, but that's besides the point. Now, today I wanted to go over a bunch of topics, how to get better on controller, how to compete with the mouse and keyboards, and just get better on controller in general, and also learn about the game and try and play better with controller. So, there's a couple topics I wanted to go over, and I figured this should definitely help. Now I figure I might as well make a video because I know what I'm talking about. I have been diamond on PC with the controller, so I know what it feels like to reverse mouse and keyboards, as well as I've played Xbox for about 4 years since the beta before I made my switch to PC. So the topics I'm going to cover are what type of controller you can use or you should use. I want to talk about recoil, I want to talk about your sensitivity, crosshair placement, dead zones, and using your brain more than your aim. Now the first thing I want to talk about with controller is honestly you're going to have to learn the recoil patterns of certain guns, because on controller you're kind of relying on 2 thumbsticks instead of a whole arm like you are on mouse and keyboard. So you want to make sure your recoil control is the best it can possibly be. So the way that I like to warm up, right, this is my warm up, this is like literally when I just got on. So I go into a T-hunt and I'll go on house and I'll kill everyone on the top floor and I'll just start backing up and shooting the wall. As you see, it's not that bad, it gets better as it goes on, and as you do this, you're gonna learn the patterns of guns way more, and you'll also learn how to control the recoil way more. Now you can do this on any gun, you do this for however long you want. Like this is literally me just coming on after not playing all day. So I'll show you what it looks like. I posted a video about it, but this is like what it looks like after you're all warmed up and you kind of learn to adjust the recoil and learn the pattern that more. So this is about 2 seasons ago. This was, I think the last time I even recorded like T-Hunt recoil gameplay. But this is when I'm more warmed up. Now, like I said, this is on the old house though, and when we had the ACOG on Buck. But what I like to do is, I would go up to this wall, I would shoot as many clips as I can once I clear out the top floor. Now, as you see this is close up. So now, I would practice a lot of close up so I can start to kind of learn the pattern and see where my bullets are going. And then kind of adjust it like I did in that last one. Because I noticed that mine are going to the left too much, so I need to pull to the right too much. I need to pull to the right more rather. Now after you kind of warm up close, what I like to do is I like to go down long hallways where I see terrorists like this, and just just control the recoil. I would not recommend shooting like this in games, because you want to go for the head. It's all about crosshair placement, but this is what I like to do when I'm warming up my recoil alone. I like to make sure I just go into a T-hunt, whether it's for 15-20 minutes, and just do this. Now one quick little thing that I want to talk about was crosshair placement. It's very important, and I feel like it will definitely help you when you go into a ranked game. What I would recommend you do is go into T-hunts and only aim for the head. Now it'll be a little weird at first, but it'll definitely help in the long run, and it'll kind of become just like an instinct, because when you're always aiming for the head in a one-shot headshot game, you'll notice a very big difference. Trust me when I tell you, just do this, you'll get better. Now for my next topic, I feel is very important, especially on console, is definitely brain over aim. Now because you are on a controller and you're reversing mouse and keyboards and some controllers, depending on what rank you are, so you want to make sure you're smarter, because sometimes your aim can be inconsistent. So for example, you'll see here I had a prep phase drone. I made sure I saved my drone and put it somewhere I was going to push. Now I use that prep phase drone to then know this guy's here. He has no idea I know that I see him, and I nade him because of it. Now, this is what I mean by brain over aim. You have to make sure you're always thinking. Keep your drones. Make sure you are always just not getting one of your drones out of the way. Now you see I drone in, I hear him to the left, I see him, and good night. Always use your drones. Do not just hop in. Now luckily, I had good aim there, but there's times when your aim can be very inconsistent, especially on a controller. And if you're reversing mouse and keyboards like I am always. Like this right here, I have no idea what this Mosi was doing. I don't know if her mouse died or if she's just brain dead. But this is Plateau Elo, so I have no idea. But you'll see here, like I said, use your aim over your brain. Also in the clip, you can't really hear it. I'll show it in my next video. There's a lot of communications. That's another way to use your brain over your aim. Make sure you're always communicating with your team. Brain is important. Very, very, very important. You can't just run in a gun. So that you see here, I got a call out. He's in closet. I'm going to nade him, wait for him to rotate, and kill him. It's all about communication, even if your aim is not the best. Luckily, my aim was good here, but it's like I said, controller can be very inconsistent, and if you're going against mouse and keyboard on console, you always got to use your brain over your aim. Now I can just tell you to use your brain over your aim, but that won't really help unless I try and give you ways to increase your brain, or your game sense that you would call it, and how to play better. Now, the best way I feel like I improve game sense is by obviously just always playing and making mistakes and learning from them, and also learning, common angles. Like for example, I have no idea where this guy is, but I'm gonna pre-fire top stairs because that's a common spot for people to sit. So you learn that by playing a lot more and watching better players up in a higher elo and just in like playing the game, and you kind of learn what people would generally do. That's why it's easier to predict people. But the only way you kind of learn that is by playing. The way to increase your game sense is by losing and making mistakes and then learning from them. So I know that because I've been killed by that spot, or I've seen people go to that spot. So now whenever I'm going to come around the corner, I'm going to pre-fire that. That's how you generally learn certain spots to pre-fire and kind of how to get better and where people are going to sit. Now for here, I get the call out, he's to my left. I pre-fired a little too early, so it caused me to miss a couple shots because I had to control my aim again, but I wound up killing him. Now for this final guy, he's on top of the bomb. I know that because he shoots, and then I'm going to automatically pre-fire the top right corner because I'm going to assume he's holding a tight angle. And I learned that because I've done that or I've killed people from it. He should have ran, but he got kill hungry. So you just gotta learn from like making mistakes. Now another huge thing that will help you get better on console or controller is a question that I get a lot is what is the right sense I should play? Now it's very important to find a sense that you do like and you feel comfortable on, otherwise your aim is not going to be the best or you're not going to be able to react fast enough. Now I use 35 vertical, 100 horizontal, 5 dead zone on the left and right stick, and I use 100 ADS. Now this is all preference, I've been using this for about 4 years now, and it just took me some time to get used to playing on a high sense, but I enjoy it. But does not mean you have to. Like I put it on 100 standard because I don't really like this whole new sense stuff. But another thing I want to talk about was dead zone. Now, you know, the dead zone is really up to you. What it is it's like how fast your controller will react or how your controller reacts to when you move the analog stick. Now, if you have stick drift, I would recommend putting it above 5. Maybe go from 7 to 8, 9, or 10, and it'll stop the stick drift. Or if you feel it's too fast, raise up to 7, 8, or 9. Now, I have mine on 5 because I like the fast sense. But at the end of the day, it's all preference. Now the last topic I wanted to cover was what controller I use. Now I use the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. I've used the Xbox Elite Series 1 controller. That was a great controller. I definitely recommend the Series 2. It's honestly the best controller out there. And you can use standard controller. I've used standard controller for about 2 years. But I just feel like you will have a much bigger advantage if you use a scuff controller. Now the reason I say this is because I lean with my top left and right paddles. As you see the 4 paddles in the back, I crouch my bottom left and I vault my bottom right. Now leaning with my top left and right paddles, what this does is it stops me from having to push in on the analog stick when I want to lean. Now it helps me aim because I'm not pushing down, and it's going to take away as like inconsistency that will come up because I'm not really pushing down on it. Instead I'm just like, you know, hitting my paddles. And same with my analog sticks. I have raised analog sticks, which I feel helps my aim a lot as well. I have the right side raised, and that's the concave one. And then on the left side, I have the more raised but not too raised dome one, all the way on the far left. But now, as I was saying with the paddles too, the paddles help because those big analog sticks, I'm not pushing down on them when I want to lean. If I want to lean left and right, I just hit my back paddles, and it helps me so much with my aim to keep it more consistent. I feel a scuff controller will definitely help. You can use other ones too, but this is my favorite one, and I recommend it to anybody that is looking to get a controller. It's about $180, I believe. Now to wrap up this video, just want to go over a couple things. Make sure you work on your recoil. I would recommend getting a scuff controller if you can. If not, I've used normal controller and hit diamond every season. It was fine, but you will definitely see an improvement on an elite controller, which is what I would recommend. Another thing, work on your brain, work on getting better. Look at how to look at the mistakes you make and try and learn from them. And overall, just honestly, consistency will help so much. If you keep playing, you will get better. It just takes time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want any other tip videos, let me know down below, and I'll be sure to do them. Hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to drop a sub. Let's get 8K. I love you. Peace.